Hey everybody, it's your girl April Marie, and welcome to my podcast, Handle Her with Care. I am joining you today from a different location. I had something to say, and I said, let me say it. Let me say it now. I got this microphone, I got this phone. Let me just say what I need to say. So basically, y'all, okay, let me sip my coffee. I have always prided myself on being the girl that could handle all the things, right? Business owner. I'm a single mama of two. I handle all the business for a lot of people and take care of a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. When I owned my salon, I owned it for 10 years, right? And so being a salon owner, there's a lot of things that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. You have to negotiate with people, you have to handle things. I was having to deal with men in a lot of different capacities, right? And so I always prided myself on not needing advocacy because I can handle it myself. I could take care of it myself. I can do the things. I can tell the men. I can direct traffic and move this and help with that. And Miss April got it. Miss April could do it. Miss April could do it. And so for 10 years, I was very, very busy. And I was very, uh, bossy, right? And just like, I'm a boss. Okay. You know what? Fill in the gaps. The truth of the matter is, I'm tired. I don't want to be the boss anymore. I want to relax and I want to flow. So in 2025, when I decided to close my salon, I had a grand closing event and I moved everything home, right? Which took me out of having to negotiate and talk to men all the time, painters, plumbers, flooring people, my leasing agent, my property manager. Everything every day something was going wrong. So contractor, okay, paint, somebody moving in, moving out. I got to get a guy to come. Got to get a guy. I got a guy. I got a guy. I got a guy. Like I'm all guyed out, right? So I closed the salon and I moved home. And when I transitioned myself, I had started saying out loud, oh, I've given myself a softer life. That's what I kept saying. Oh, I've given myself a softer life. I retired myself. I've given myself a softer life, a softer existence. And so by doing that, I took myself out of the race and out of the moment to have to be everybody's everything, and to also have to interact a lot in a heavy space with men. Not just any man, like my man is fine, my kids are fine, my father, people that I have in constant, communication with are different than having to deal with men on a business level. On a business level, it makes it changes the game. So once I moved home and I've started really turning my work inward to take care of myself and restore and curate a beautiful home space where I'm planting things, right? I'm gardening in the middle of the day. If I don't have a client, then I'm like baking and cooking and I'm doing things that are soft and feminine, and I don't have to question, or I don't have to ask, or I don't have to get permission for any of that. It's just softness all the way through. And so what I realized is that when I would hear people say back in the day, take a man with you to the car dealership. Take a man with you to the whatever, place. Take a man. Yeah, if you take a man, then you won't have to worry. And I used to be offended. I used to be like super irritated. Like, take a man, why? Like, that's crazy. I don't have to do that. I can handle it. I'm her. I know negotiations. I know percentage rates. I know blah, blah, blah. I can handle it. I don't need a man to do. April, listen, women, ladies, soft life girlies. It's not that we can't, it's that I don't want to anymore. Let me tell you, I decided I'm going to do some pre work. I'm going to go to the car dealership and see what kind of car I like. Because the next decision for the car that I've been driving very big SUVs. I don't want to do that anymore. If I do another SUV, I want it to be small, but I want it to be luxury or more luxurious for my dollar. I don't want to spend a crazy amount of money because I just don't want to. Like, I still have a 12-year-old. I'm still toting equipment and cars and kids and stuff like that. Like, okay, I need to, I'm selling this, or I'm right going to a show for hair honey or whatever. Like, I gotta fold these seats down. I gotta have functionality plus luxury, and I don't want to pay a lot of money. Period. Okay. So I said, let me do a little bit of research before I turn my lease in. And I have a good 6 months before I have to do that. And I have miles. So I'm good, right? I'm just doing a little research. So I go down to the dealership and I'm having to talk and negotiate. And I remember because I had so many open screens. If you visualize like a computer, and you have all these open windows. I had all these open windows. Are they trying to take advantage of you? Right? Is this the right information? Are they lying? I would see the salesman, and God bless his soul, he wasn't terrible, but I would see him look up in the sky. Whoop, did you see this color? This is so nice. Look at this feature. I don't care about the purple, the pink color that you're showing me. I don't care, right? That the sound system does blah blah blah. Anyway, how many miles per gallon on the highway? Let's talk about, okay, so what is this brake system? What about the safety features? Talk to me about the stuff. Like, stop trying to. So I had all these open windows in my head, you guys, and I was so overwhelmed because I'm like, dang, you're really trying to get me. And I remembered having to be in such a crazy protective mode the whole time I was operating outside doing business and having to deal with, like I said, a lot of men in business spaces. It's not that I can't advocate, it's that at this stage in my life, I don't want to. And I said, I was talking to my parents after I left the dealership because I didn't buy it yesterday. That wasn't the plan. Um, but I was talking to my mom and she was like, well, you didn't take a man with you? And I immediately got a little bit offended again because I'm used to being offended about that. Like, I can handle it. I'm a woman. Hear me roar. No, I don't roar. I purr. I don't roar anymore. I don't want to be a lion. I purr. You know, I share my thoughts. Preferably, yes, I will take my brother or my boyfriend or my son with me when I go back, and I will tell them, hey, I want A, B, C, D. And they'll be like, she wants A, B, C, D, non negotiable. And then I don't have to deal with foreign man and all of their, lies, deceit, over exaggerations, uh, not because I'm incapable, but I don't want to anymore. And I want to tell you, once you've given yourself a softer existence, it is unattractive to be out here being hard. I don't want it. Now that I see what it feels like to be a literal, like, feminine woman, and I'm not talking about the the trendy way. I'm serious when I say feminine, soft woman. I don't want to do a man's work. I'm not saying negotiating is a man's work, but baby, once you stop, you will see what I'm talking about. Once you don't have to, you will understand exactly what I'm saying. It is taxing. When I got home, first of all, when I left the dealership, I couldn't decide what I wanted to eat. I was all over the place. I left the dealership. I'm driving home. I'm like, I want something good. I want something tasty. I could not decide what I wanted because I was just like so drained. Drained. Oh my God. I was just drenched in exhaustion. I finally pull into the house because I said, I'm just going to go home and make something. We got food at home. I pull into the garage, could barely pull myself out the car. I'm like, what is this? What is this? I get in the house. I'm like looking around like, Jesus, just help me. I get upstairs. When I tell you, I stripped off everything that I wore that day. I got right in the shower And I was like, why am I so tired? Heavy. Well, you have done heavy work. Even though you weren't lifting anything physically, your brain, my brain, was on in a way that it hasn't had to be in a very long time. And that took the life out of me. So I want to encourage you, ladies, and I had to restore, and I did, and I feel much better now. But I want to encourage you, ladies, that once you've entered into the soft space, stay there and figure out ways that you can remain. If you have guy friends, if you are in a relationship, if you are married, stop saying things like, I can just get it, don't worry. I'll grab it. No, I'll get it, babe. I'll do it. No, you won't. Let that man do the things. Let him. Let him do the things. Because there are so many things, trust me, that you don't want to do. And for me, negotiating with men is now off the table for me. I don't want to do it. Now, with women, I can do it all day because it turns into a moment, a sister circle, right? In business, I'm like, yes, let's talk. Let's have a cup of coffee. It's going to be great. It might be hard, but it's still a woman. And that is something that I can manage. In dealing with men, it creates a whole different thing because there's so many things entangled up in that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, find your softer side and then holla at me because I'm telling you what I know. I experienced it. I experienced it. It was a lot. And what I know is that I don't want to do it anymore. I want to continue to flow in the softest version of my life that I can. Now, of course, I can do it when I need to, but I'm going to limit the times when I need to go alone and handle work that involves a lot of that back and forth with a man. I don't want to do it because I already know that I have to have all these windows open in my brain for checks and balances to make sure that I'm not being taken advantage of, so that I'm not taken advantage of, because I won't be, but that requires me to be even more firm, even more, perfect. And then I also, right? So along with being all of those things and thinking so fast and calculating and thinking ahead of him because he's going to try to get me, I also had to remain soft. So I had to still be kind. I had to still be warm and smile so that I wouldn't be perceived as a black, right? Or some coming in here telling me, and then now it's even worse. The offense is worse when you kind of, combat them with their same energy. I didn't want to be masculine. So I resided in the feminine, but I had my masculine mind on, which made more it. Oh, anyways, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. Listen, I do have another interview coming up. It will be here. And so we'll be discussing some really amazing things, and you'll see, because what are you talking about? I will also still be at 661 Creator Space for my own episodes and having some more intimate discussions and moments here in the suite, because I think that this is a space where we can all let our hair down. Literally, you're in the beauty salon. And just kind of have some honest conversations that are comfortable and elevated, because that's how we do our thing. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. Please subscribe at Handle Her With Care _podcast. And follow my personal Instagram at rockstar_life. That's ROXSTARR_life. And then I also want you to go visit my website, www.aprilmarieholland.com. I have some amazing up and coming things that are happening. I have a retreat that I'm co-hosting. I cannot wait. It's next year. And I also have a journal that I sell, and that is amazing and beautiful. And I believe that every woman Should have a copy. It's right there. Right there. And so yeah, more details to follow, but please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Please share and subscribe, okay? I appreciate you joining me today. And once again, this is my plea for you to really return to the softer side of your life in any way that you can soften up your life and your existence, the things that you do for yourself so that you can restore, right? So that you can feel feminine and soft and actually operate and be that as well. And so, with that being said, what I did to restore yesterday was I took that hot shower. I laid in my bed and turned my heating blanket on. I kind of laid flat, and for whatever reason, that just felt so good to my body. I'm telling you, I was exhausted. And then I had some good food. I did do some clients, and then of course bringing in that softness, that woman vibe was everything. And then I went and had some appetizers and some cocktails with friends. And that brought me back. And now I feel back to normal. But it took a lot to get me back because wow, I really felt like I had been had all day. And that's not a good feeling. So, those are the 3 ways that I restored. How do you restore? I'm interested in knowing, um, because every day we encounter hard situations and we have to be functional. Um, and so I'm curious to know what it is that you do when you're having to deal with hard situations, having to deal with men in a very concentrated effort to get things done. How do you restore your femininity? And how do you stay feminine and soft in those moments? I look forward to hearing your answers. I appreciate you watching, and I want you to have a beautiful day. Always remember to handle yourself with care. Bye.